Hey yo, are you a B2B SaaS founder and you want to be getting 40 meetings each month booked for your B2B SaaS through LinkedIn Outbound? Perfect, because this video is exactly for you. I am Dennis and I run a private accelerator SaaS camp. Basically, our core offer is that we will get you extra 20 qualified demos a month in 6 months or less, or we will refund you in full. So if you think that this may work for you, go check out SaaS Camp so we can get on a call and see whether you would be a good fit. Identify your ideal customer profile. The reason why you want to do this step here is because otherwise you may spend years doing all of this without getting any results, and I really don't want that. So these systems would only apply to those founders whose ideal prospects can be found through LinkedIn search filters. Because if you cannot go to LinkedIn Sales Navigator and within 5 to 15 minutes identify the list of your ideal prospects, look, high chance you may be going and fighting an uphill battle here. So please be mindful about using all of this stuff, because initially you want to understand, okay, who are the ideal prospects for you? Who are those people who would be stupid not to buy your solution? And you find them using filters in Sales Navigator. And if you want to get filters right, consider using such terms as and, not, or when setting this up, because this can get you more advanced search. Basically, when we're talking about LinkedIn outbound systems, you want to start with low-hanging fruits. Here, there is a testimonial from Brian, who joined our program. He had a bunch of potential customers in his existing connections. So what we did exactly, we went for low-hanging fruits. We started running initial campaign to them, and we booked 23 meetings in the first 7 days of him being inside the program. So that is the exact reason why, before you go do some rocket science and try getting to Mars with your automations and so on, just go through your contact list, see who are maybe 20 to 50 people who would really be interested in your thing, and just go write them a personalized message, because they can just go and buy from you, because this is often happening with basically founders overlooking this simple step. Please check this one out. Then we want to optimize your profile. Why? Because everything regarding LinkedIn Outbound is going to be linked to our connection acceptance rate. Our connection acceptance rate depends on how sexy your profile is. If you are a hot girl and you've got thousands of connections, 10,000 followers, great profile banner, nice avatar, ton of recommendations, beautiful about section, and you worked at top companies of this world, congratulations, because high chance you will be getting decent acceptance rate. But if not, no problem, because you still, no matter what is your background or whatsoever, you can get a very nice optimized LinkedIn account, and I'll explain you how. You want to look into your bio. Bio is one of the 3 core things people see when checking your incoming connection request. And that's why you want to make sure that in your bio you have your value proposition tailored to your ideal customers. Please be mindful not about creating this vague value proposition. For instance, I help businesses grow. Look, this would not convert. How about I help marketing agencies double their website conversions within 30 days or they don't pay? Yeah, sure, this is an agency type of offer. I doubt your product can pull this off, but you got the idea. You want to be precise here. Then picture, you know that it's gonna be really impacting your numbers, so make sure that it's a nice one. And here I've got a note that smiles convert better, and actually from campaigns we're running, female profiles are also converting slightly better, giving us 5 to 8% higher acceptance rates on average, and high reply rates as well. So you might be lucky on this one. Then banner, again, in your banner, you want to go for putting your value proposition, ideally some social proof, some hot magazines which featured you and stuff like that. Then pinned links. Here you want to ideally feature testimonials, some proof how your solution helped someone go from A to B and achieve results. Because if it did, then some other people would be keen to check it out to see how it can also be helpful to them. Recommendations. Many people overlook this one, but a profile with 5 to 15 recommendations always looks better than the one which is empty. Again, the more credibility you have, people are making this decision to accept or to ignore your request within seconds while brushing their teeth. So these are minor things you can do to be getting a huge like difference over long term. Then about section walking through your story, and you can use ChatGPT for this one. Here you don't want to turn it into like too much drama that you, I don't know, had to run from some, I'm not gonna make this up, just look, you don't want to turn it into a movie, but it needs to have a hook, it needs to have a storyline of how you got to the place where you are, and ideally you want to drop some of the social proof or case studies how you successfully are delivering on your promise. And you want to of course have as many connections as possible. Of course, if you got less than 100, you will be getting fewer people accepting you than if you have 250, 500 or more. Awesome, we got these initial things up and running. Now we set up a LinkedIn campaign. Why we gonna be using automations? Because you can basically replicate this manual tedious process by plugging this into software. And if you are a busy founder like me, why not offload a couple of hours a day doing this thing? And currently in some of the startups who are inside SaaS Camp, basically what people do, they also place appointment setters inside the account so that they can write personalized lines to potential prospects. But this is another story. For simplicity, you want to set up an automated campaign. At the time of me recording this, such tools as Dripify and Expendi are one of the top picks. You may drop a comment and I'll reply with what is the best tool that we are using right now. You want to be connecting with 20 people in total every single day, and you don't want to exceed 20-person connection limit, as this will increase your chances of falling into spam. Now, when I'm recording this, as funny as it can be, the blank copy, or in other words, you just sending a connection request without any text, is hitting high reply rates, I mean acceptance rates, as AI custom lines have become oversaturated. So you may consider this hack. Then the next thing we want to do is to write a 2 to 4 message script. Why? Because we want to be running a couple A/B tests to see what is the best way to approach your ideal customers on LinkedIn. If there was just one single approach that would work for any niche, for any startup, and for everybody, I think be out of business. And what I mean here is, depending on your market, you want to find the right way to approach the people you're targeting, because the way you would be approaching crypto communities is completely different to how you're treating some people who are in the heavy industries in Northern Europe or whatsoever. So usually at SaaS Camp, we run this ABCD test, multiple angles of value propositions, and you want to test at least 2 angles and at least 2 approaches. What I mean by angles, imagine your solution helps, again, marketing agencies to double their website conversion rates. Say you've got a SaaS like this. You want to test a couple ways how to get them reply to your messages. Either it would be approach, hey, we will help you double your conversion rates if you're this marketing agency, or some other ones. And you want to find the one which would be getting you most clicks, most eyeballs, and be performing best. So then this is about value proposition angles, and now about approaches. What I mean by approaches in your LinkedIn campaigns is basically you want to test use yourself pitching in your first message, because sometimes it actually works better, and you want to A/B test it against the second one, which is going for a qualification question first and then giving your value proposition. What I mean by this one is usually we first do campaigns that are starting with a question in message 1, as these give higher reply rates and get you more conversations. There are multiple ways how to get people book calls with you. You can either just say what your product does and invite them to a call, or you can first ask them some qualifying questions. For instance, how are you now getting clients for your marketing agency? And then they go back to you saying, do we do that through our website? And then you come back with a brilliant pitch saying, perfect, because we've just built a tool that helps marketing agencies who are onboarding most of their clients through websites to double their website conversions. How about I show you the demo of the product that we are working on? And you want to test this variation against some other ones. Over time, as you find message market match, you can go for shorter scripts, because in the beginning, the reason why you usually want to start with campaigns that are question and then value proposition in your second message is because this way you will get more replies from them, and more replies mean more conversations. More conversations means you have more chances to learn about your ideal customers and gain more market knowledge. So initially, if you are low on sales and are not getting as many each month, you may want to shift your focus a bit to, instead of you aiming for, I don't know, for instance, 100 sales in a month, aiming for 100 conversations in a month. And then if you can hit this KPI, I'm telling you, usually you would also hit your sales KPI shortly after. Now regarding the benchmarks, because many people are approaching me asking, Dennis, how many people should be accepting my requests, how many people should be replying, and so on. So for semi-optimized profile, 25% connection acceptance rate is going to be fine. Usually you want to be at the 25 to 50% connection acceptance rate. Then you want to have a 15 to 20% reply rate to your message 1 and a 20% call booking rate from those who replied to message 1. This means that if 10 people replied to your question which you asked in message 1, you want to book 2 calls. If you are below than that, could be a couple of reasons. One, you're reaching prospects who are a bad fit for your product and the audience might be wrong. Then another reason why they are not booking calls could be that your value proposition is wrong and that you're not selling them the right thing and conveying the message correctly. And the third thing could be, wrong audience, wrong message, and also could be a wrong product, but this is a fundamental thing which I think will not go through detail in this video. Then these are the benchmarks. If you're not hitting this, just let me know and I'll see where is the bottleneck so that you can get up and running. Add fuel to your campaign. You have been only sending connection requests so far, and you can now, after you get some things working and you start getting more demos booked, you can now combine it with emails and unlimited messages for people inside the same groups. Because the beautiful thing about LinkedIn groups is that you can infinitely message people inside them without getting banned and without basically LinkedIn putting many restrictions on you, and you want to leverage this. This grows your weekly reach by another 300 opportunities, and this is exactly what you want to do after you get this connection thing going. I personally also know startups that are averaging $30,000 to $70,000 in monthly recurring revenue that are not doing any emails and group messages in their LinkedIn campaigns, and they are just doing this straightforward approach with connection request, message, invite to a call, book a call, make a sale. And they've been doing it for years and it's still working and is not going anywhere anytime soon. Awesome. Now we've got all these pieces together and it's time for some secret sauce, because you can be using more than one LinkedIn account to do that. You can drop me a message and I will connect you with guys who warm up LinkedIn accounts for you. Or potentially you could also create an account yourself, spend some time getting a few hundred connections, optimizing this through this checklist, and you will also be set. Alternatively, you can just rent out these accounts and increase your inputs to get even more calls booked. And some people rent out 2, 3, 4, 6, 12 more accounts, and some agencies do even 20 once they got the ball rolling. Because look, if it got you 10 calls, high chance the same strategy will get you another 100. If it got you 100, it will get you 1,000. So it will be always just this conversions game. And if you hit this ballpark figures here in terms of percentages, then this thing is working for you. So why stop? And you basically can now do this from 2, 3 and more accounts. Such a way you can rent out, for instance, 3 more accounts and connect with 60 people instead of 20 a day, send 600 more follow-up messages a day, and increase the number of emails by 4 times. And this, I would say, were a couple of the main tips and tricks that we use to get more outbound meetings booked inside LinkedIn. And if you're currently running a B2B SaaS startup and want to grow, you can apply to Private Accelerator SaaS Camp at saascamp.co. where we will help you with your sales and marketing. We'll build you dynamic marketing systems, which we installed for over 70 startups. And if for some reason you won't add extra 20 qualified demos a month in 6 months or less, we'll just refund you in full. If you've got any questions about some stuff I shared here, just drop them in the comments. And on this wonderful note, I will see you in the next video.